good to be home. Don't get me wrong, but my trip to northern Bulgaria was really good and really productive. It was really good to see my friends again and help some of them. But it was time to get back home to my wilderness, because it's a summertime, so there is so much things you have to do around your greenhouse. But today I've decided that I'll be answering some of your questions because I've been getting them like a lot, and really I have no time to answer all of them, and sometimes I feel very bad about answering to certain people like 3 or 4 months later. Simply because sometimes there are messages that I missed and or I forget to answer. I always say, okay, I'll do it next, and or I do it tomorrow, and tomorrow never comes. So yeah, so today I'm going to answer all those questions. It's gonna be like kind of guide for you how to find out yourself in Bulgaria, because I went through this path. And I can say that I have some experience, and I hope that you will be enjoying this information, you will be enjoying this video. I'd like to once again thank you very much for all your subscriptions, and share this video if you know beautiful people, if you know really nice people that would like to move to Bulgaria and become a part of our community. You are most welcome, everybody here. So let's get started, and this is the first question. You have to simply come first to Bulgaria in person. I know that sometimes you don't have a time, or I don't know, but you have to come to Bulgaria and see these places yourself. I mean, I'm going to leave again underneath the video plenty of links to social media, website, groups where you can research and find a property. But don't really rely on them. Don't really think that this is your final option. You need to be careful as well, because there is a lot of people out there that simply would like to, trick you, simply as that. So be careful, but it's a good base. It's a good start to make a research, so you can see what kind of properties and prices you can expect in certain area of Bulgaria, if I may put it in this way. Okay, so start from research, make maybe like a little map plan, pin the places, and then make a little notes, like, in this area are those prices, because you will find out that, for example, in the northern part of Bulgaria, the prices are, I would say, lower than from the other parts of Bulgaria, but it's not like it is not like a rule. Okay, so I'm saying in general, from my personal observation. So northern Bulgaria, where is that, where I've been just last week, the prices are adequately lower. Why? That's a good question. Well, the first and main reason is because I think that like southern part of Bulgaria, this area has been depopulated a lot, simply because there are no jobs around, and this tendency has been going since last several years. So young people leave the country or move to Sofia or bigger cities in Bulgaria. Well, there is only Sofia and Plovdiv where realistically you can find a job. Yeah, and old people die, of course, and the places are abounded. Some people say that there are plenty of gypsies in this area. Well, that's partly true. However, you have to remember that um, you know, I mean, like the gypsy people we know are the people we know from the worst side, but it's not the case here. Of course, there are people and there are people. All right, so don't take it as a something, I don't know, like don't take it blindly that oh, in this area there are gypsies, so definitely they are going to rip me off. It's not true, guys. I have a friend that's been living like in very very gypsy village, and I have to say that it is the most peaceful place I ever seen in my life. Really, trust me. you know he absolutely, since maybe, like, I don't know, 6 or 7 years, he had no absolutely issue with them. Like, plus they are very friendly, really really friendly. So don't take it blindly. Like, if you don't look for trouble, you know most likely the trouble won't find you. That's what I can tell. Okay, the next thing, because that's really important too, you have to come in person to Bulgaria. That's for sure. Like, if you want to rely on someone to find your house, especially like some uh, real estate agent or something like this, don't do that. I can tell you, don't do that, because in most of the cases the reality and the pictures will be totally different. So don't rely on that. If you want to rely on someone, that has to be person living here, like the person you trust. Okay, like if someone like offers you a house, a person that you never seen in your life, send you pictures and show you and tell you things, don't buy it. Don't send any money in advance. Just simply don't do it. Don't be tricked. Okay, so you have to have really really reliable source, someone who you trust, like perfectly trust, and someone who won't f you up. All right, so the best way, come even for 2 weeks, 1 week, whatever. Rent a car or find a friend, make a tour, but you have to have a plan. Yeah, because what I was saying in the first place, make a good research. If you have a good research, good base, that's a very good start. Then you start, you know making a tour around, and you will find eventually a place. Maybe not exactly what you were searching for, but maybe something better. Okay, because you have to you have to you have to know that most of these places that you are looking for, they are not on the internet. Really, I was the lucky one, because really my property was on the internet. I don't know why. Maybe it was a sign, or maybe I was just lucky. But believe me that there are thousands, or maybe even more, houses in area that you will never ever find out on the internet. It's simply impossible to take a pictures to shot all of them. So come in a person, because if you find a house in certain area, you will apparently, and I'm pretty sure, you will find plenty of other houses in the same place that might be even better. Okay, and plus you will be familiar with the area, because the picture itself of the house may look good, but however the area, from some reason, maybe it won't be a real like. I'm saying here in the terms because, okay, we are living in a modern world, so you have to realize that there might be no internet, because I'm talking here about the mountains area, all right? But not only, internet in Bulgaria in general is very very good. So that's for sure. Like in most of the places you will have very good internet connection. I know we need internet connection these days because we cannot live without internet. End of the story. So second thing I mentioned is like a home in person to Bulgaria. And I believe that after the first, maybe second, maybe third tour, you will have like a very clear pictures of everything and what's going on. Third thing, once you find a place, you need to find an owner. You need to realize that some of these old houses, like off-grid houses or whatever, they might not have documents. But don't worry, these documents can be done. But you will need to hire a good broker, estate agent, who has a contact in Bulgarian municipality, local municipality, and start the procedure. So the documents can be done. Shortly to explain why house may have no documents. It's not because it's not illegal. In most of these cases, the houses are very, very old. They've been built at the time when there were no any regulations, all right? So people had only like a simple kind of, little document somewhere hidden that they are an owner of these cases. And there definitely is like evidence of that in the local municipality. So don't worry about that. The thing is only that this, when they were moving around or someone died, these documents simply has been lost. It's not a problem. They can be done. It was exactly the same thing in my situation. There were no documents. So, but I had really like a trust person who did all that for me. So I paid him 500 leva, which is 250 euro around. But I had been waiting almost 1 year for the documents to be done. Again, why? Because my house is in very remote area, so someone had to come here, measure the ground, check the buildings, blah blah blah. Doesn't matter. In the end, everything has been fixed. There were like some slight corrections to the map. That's it. So that's a good part. And it's not a rule that you will be waiting 1 year. You may wait like 2 weeks, because usually this procedure shouldn't take long, like 2 weeks, maybe 1 month. All right, so that can be done. So check it out. When you get the house, find an owner or someone who is in charge with this house or this property or the land, and ask for the documents. If the documents are not done, it's better to get like a real estate, some local trusted broker, and pay him and let him to do the job. He will take his commission. You don't need to pay, in my experience, you don't need to pay him anything extra. All right, like, okay, he will need some money in advance. Sometimes they say this is 10%. Don't do it. If they are going to sell you the house, and if you are going to buy this house and you are like a serious, you can give him 500 euro maximum, no more. All right, no more. Doesn't matter. It's still a lot, I would say, and you know they may be scared that you, because you are from the western countries. So 500 euro is maybe not a lot for you. So even if you withdraw and you lose this 500 left euro, then you will be all right. That's what they usually think, and and they will like put plenty of jobs, plenty of work, in order to get the documents done. But in the end of the day, you can say just like, I'm sorry, I changed my mind, so you can keep the money. So this is why they usually want 10%, just to cover expenses of their work. So you have to understand them too. But as I said, get someone who you trust, so like that's really important. Someone of your friends maybe worked before with some broker and some person that he can recommend. And that's it. So and then the signing the documents itself, it's very simple, straightforward procedure. You just go to notary, you sit, you will have to have translator, like sworn translator, to write this document. Don't worry, I didn't have sworn translator in my language. I'm Polish, but I had English translator. It was perfectly fine. We just signed the document. It took literally 15 minutes get and the job done. I didn't pay anything extra. It's not a secret. I paid for my house 5,500 euros, something like this. So I gave like 250 euro in advance, and then I paid the rest. I didn't pay anything extra on the top of it. I think I paid only notary tax, which is just like usually 8% of the price or something like this. But don't worry, if your house costs 100,000 euro or whatever, you can you know you can you can do it with the broker and lower down the price a bit. Like, for example, instead of 100,000 euro, you can write down 50,000 euro, in the documents, and pay less commission. Everybody does that here. So, and everywhere in the world. So I don't need to tell you that. So that's it. You sign the document, things done, you become an owner of the house. And then the last thing what you need to do is just like make sure that you have to go to the municipality and write the declaration and show the notary act that you are an owner of the house. You give the notary act to the municipality. They write your name that you become an owner in order to start paying taxes. All right. Taxes are not high in Bulgaria. I pay for my house like around 10 euro per year. I know people paying 2 euro per year. It depends on area and where you are. All right. So that's it. There are no any other hidden taxes or something like this. You just pay the tax. And of course, maybe if you are in the village, you will have to pay extra, like maybe 10 or 15 euro for taking the trash. That's it. And then of course your bills, your water, if you will have water meters, because again, not in every village is water meter installed. The more remote area, the most likely you won't have them, so you have water for free coming like from some old pipes, but no one is going to maintain them, so you will have to do it yourself. Okay, so in case they broke or something like this, you will have to fix them yourself. And then electricity, if there will be a one. In most places probably there might be some places where electricity has been cut out, so you will need to go to Energo, most likely on the other company that is in charge with this electricity in the area, and again show them notary act and give them like a number that you can find on the electrometer, and they will find your address and they will add you as a new owner of the house. That's it. There is nothing more to know. Once you get the property, you just go to municipality again, and you can send through the declaration to Bulgarian ministry that you would like to get this how Bulgarians say lichna karta. It's like a Bulgarian ID. Yeah? So most likely you will be given for first year like just 1 year, okay, like a residency, like temporary residency, and then after 1 year you may get straight away 5 years, and I believe that straight 5 years you will get like a permanent residence. So it's very, very simple procedure. You just go to the municipality, you just fill the declaration, you show the notary act that you are an owner, that's it. And if you don't have a job in Bulgaria, you will have to have insurance. It's really important. So when you go and you give the notary act and you would like to get this residency ID, Then remember, it's really important, you have to have like insurance in Bulgaria. I mean, just like pay some insurance. That's it. That's only 2 documents. So notary act, your passport, and what I was saying, and the insurance one. That's it. Very simple. I think maybe it looks simple when I'm talking because I went through all of this stuff, but believe me, it's not that really difficult. So you can do it. Most of my friends have done it, and the smaller village, the smaller city, the faster you can get it because there are no so many foreign people yet. If you do it in Sofia, that's gonna be disaster. But in the other towns, like villages, cities, it will be super easy. Yeah, that could be a challenge, especially if you are not Slavic, because I am Slav myself, so our languages are very similar. So basically, you know, imagine that you are born with default setting, yeah. So all Slav languages they have like they have some defaults. I mean, just like a default basic elementary language, which is just like, I would say, 1-to-1. I know a couple of them, and there are no basically difference. Maybe with the pronunciation, it's like some English and Scottish, but maybe even not that, different, or I don't know, like English from London and English from Belfast, yeah. I and so so for us, for like Slavic speakers, moving to Bulgaria is much easier because basically you can even come here and you don't even need to know the language, because the very basic and elementary language you can understand. Like if they speak slow and we speak slow, we can understand each other. So that's the thing. But it might be a challenge for like if you are from England, or if you're from Germany, or if you don't know any Slavic languages, then it might be a challenge for you, because like Bulgarian, Polish language, and other Slavic language, they are pretty difficult if it comes to the pronunciation and the grammar and so on. But I know people from Netherlands, you know, that speak like perfectly Bulgarian, really, like they even speak Bulgarian better than I am. Than I do. Like you can hear it now, yeah. So it's it, don't be scared, because if you are willing to learn it, you will find it very easily. Like you don't really need to know like everything. You just like I need elementary language to communicate. But good thing is that once you learn and find out, like manage to learn Bulgarian, you most likely will understand on elementary level all Slavic languages. So learning one Slavic languages opens you the doors to the other Slavic languages. So maybe, I don't know, maybe someday you would like to travel to Croatia, Poland, Russia, Belarus, Slovakia, or Czech, or other Slavic countries. Then it will be easier for you to communicate, because the numbers, the elementary basic object things, they are exactly the same. The nature names, like trees names or something like this, it's all the same. Like this, the pronunciation is a bit like slightly different. you know so so it's the same, like for example, like if you are like in proper English, you say now, house, but if you go to Belfast, everybody say house, noi. Yeah, so that's the difference. So but you still can understand the language. So that's the plus. So don't be scared. Maybe Bulgarian is not easy language, but you can learn it. There are a lots of foreign people here, and you know they've been living here since many years. They are super happy and they can understand, they even speak Bulgarian. So you know it's really easy. It's not an easy answer which place you're supposed to choose, but I can give you some hints. So for example, let's start from the family. If you are a family, you have a kids, so of course you won't be looking places like I did, like yeah, because unless you have 10 kids and they can play each other, around. But no, I'm joking. um yeah, I mean, like, I have a friends, you've seen them in the last of my video. They are building the house from the clay and straw. um, and the reason they chose this area is because they have a kids and they would like kids to have friends. So they moved there. This area is close to Veliko Tarnovo. It's called Vetrinci. There are lots of foreign people. There is very good community. As far as I've seen, the village is prosperating really good. It's really nice area. So it's very good place. But the other thing is, I don't know that if there are some places left over. But there are other villages around. Okay, so if you will be looking for this kind of village, so yeah, there will be apparently a school, there will be maybe like a kindergarten, and all those things, maybe some play garden for the kids, and etc. So that's the place. So you may try to find like a places maybe around this area. It's northern Bulgaria, yeah, because there is a, like, from what I've noticed, there is like a bigger community. In contrast to the north and to the southern part where I live, there is more empty places, more abundant places, and I don't think some of these places will be good for the family with kids, because first of all, there will be a problem with the school. Probably you will need to drive your kids to school or to the kindergarten. In the winter time, it might be super difficult, because like there were many times in the past that after the big and huge snowfall, the roads are not drivable. You have no electricity and so on. Well, it's not a case in Bulgaria. Yes, unfortunately, this happens a lot, that sometimes you have no water or you have no electricity. But if you plan to be off-grid and if you are choose to live in the northern part, let's say, even here, you can always install like a solar panel, yeah, and you can be like totally independent. So yeah, so my advice for the families with kids would be to start looking area maybe in the northern Bulgaria, because there is a bigger communities, and there will be definitely more kids. If you are alone, that's basically, you can live wherever you want, yeah, because nothing is going to stop you. You have no obligations and something like this, so you may find a place here or there. It really doesn't matter. The only thing is that you need to remember that you may have to walk to the nearest shop, like 1 hour or something like this, if you don't have a car or jeep, a special jeep. And the shops are not all the time open. So sometimes, like in my village, the nearest village, the shop is open from 8 to 10, if I'm not wrong, and then they open from 5 to 7. And that's it, every day, though. So yeah, so that's the thing, and that's it. So like, my advice for the people with the families, or people maybe in the older age, definitely you will be looking for a place that is somewhere a bit closer to the people and to facilities. I mean, say, just like some people ask about doctor, if there is a doctor in the area. Well, in my area there is no doctor, unfortunately. The nearest doctor is just like around 15-20 kilometers from here. But you need to remember that it's not 15 kilometers on the asphalt road. It's like maybe 4 kilometers through the black road. Yeah. And then the last 10 or maybe 7 kilometers is just like let's say, proper asphalt. Not always, but so you need to keep it in mind. In the other areas where I've been the last week, the most infrastructure, it's okay. I from what I've seen, it looks really good. The roads are good, but it's flat. And the good thing is that you can grow everything there. Okay, like you can grow everything. But that's the next question I've got. Okay, so this is the question I get basically a lot of the time, like most of these questions that repeat. The question about the weather and what I can grow, it comes to my mailbox quite often. All right, so again, I'll be calling to the north part of Bulgaria, where I've been the last week. There you can practically grow everything. I mean, like, everything means everything, really. Like, and if you have like a good greenhouse and maybe that you can warm it up through the winter, you can even do it entire winter. Usually in this area, from around March, I would say, the temperatures may be even high as 31 degrees. So, or maybe even higher, so you can start planting very early. You need to be careful though about mornings, because they can be pretty cool. But if you are inside the greenhouse with them, that's fine. Okay, so if you are looking for growing lots of different kind of vegetables and stuff, like watermelons, maybe bananas, or something like this. I'm joking, but I've seen people growing bananas in Bulgaria. Trust me, there are places where you can grow bananas. So you will aim more to northern part or central part of Bulgaria, or everything towards the Black Sea. Another good plus, there is a very good soil, very good quality of soil. So yeah. The minus is just like there is a super hot. Like really, I've been there last week, guys. Like, it was unbelievable. Like I like hot sometimes, but that was too much. That was really too much, especially for my dogs too. Like, you literally have to be most of the time inside the house and, like, under air conditioner. So something for something. But yeah, you have like a plenty of sunny days. You can easily install solar panels. You will have plenty of energy. There might be bigger problem maybe with the water, but you can draw the well, like my friend had. So the water level in his place wasn't that deep, I would say. Maybe 8 meters, maybe 8 or 10 meters. However, in Adam and Yana, well, they are in the more like a kind of mountaineer, area. It's not like a mountaineer, but they are like a hills, or something like this. If I'm not wrong, there was 80 meters. 80 meters to get to the water. So yeah, so it was pretty deep and it cost a bit. But still, like in Eric place, the guy that I was helping, it was just like, like on my eye, it was just like maybe 8 meters, maybe 10, maybe maximum, but I don't even think that deep. So yeah, so that's an option. You can have a well, and you will have like a plenty of water. Solar panels, if you have a money or some funds, you can invest solar panels. Well, you're done. You have everything what you need, and you have big garden where you can grow everything. You easily become self-sustainable. In my area, I said about this pretty many times already. Yeah, like I have very short vegetation period, so I have to hurry. I have to do everything inside, most of the things inside the greenhouse through all the time, even through the summertime. And because I'm high, I'm like 1,200 meters above the sea level. So yeah, so this is what I really miss, because I would like to have like a more plants or something like this. But plus with me is just like I have more water. I have my area is more wet, and I'm closer to the Greece. So because I love Greece, so basically the Greece is just like just there, like my neighborhood. So if I want to go to the seaside, I just jump to the car, and 2 hours and I'm there. um, but the problem is with the infrastructure here. So no roads basically, or bad roads. The winters are very like difficult, and very cold, and very long springtime. So yeah, but if you love mountains, then you can find the mountains in the central part of Bulgaria. It's called Stara Planina, really beautiful mountains, and you may have them as a combine with good weather if you live down to the mountains. Yeah, so if you check Stara Planina, like Balkan mountains, it's basically area that some people say is that from there, like the Balkans territory starts, wherever. So you may try to find a place there. There are plenty of good places too. Or Rodopi, which is just like a southern part of Bulgaria. My area is just like, let's say, colder comparing to the eastern part of Rodopi. The mountains are a bit lower there, but still beautiful. You have a bisons there as well, and the other animals. And there is like a bit lower, and the weather is very hot. Even here, like if you go down to the village, the temperature difference is like, but again, remember, it's like most of the places are abundant, and you most likely will be very, very alone, and you may become even more alone in next couple of years, if you know what I mean. Because yeah, there are like average maybe 70 years old in the village or so. So yeah, so that's how it looks like. And the more problems will come after, because the less people in the village, the country doesn't really care about that certain place. You will be on the list in the very, very, very end, not like a priority. So if you will have some request from the municipality to do something, you maybe wait very long, or this will never happen. So keep it in mind. And yeah, I think like that's very. I hope that was very informative, like for the first part, because I could be talking even for next couple of hours, and I don't want this video to be too long. So let's say that's the first part, because there were much more questions to me, and even as I can see now, I can't even answer all of them within one video. But I think that I touched the pretty important, subjects here in this video. Don't ask me about politics, please, because I don't really care about politics. All I can say, yes, I have my mind, I have my eyes, and I see what is going on in the world at the moment, that we are living in very strange times. But I absolutely have no any feelings for that. I mean, like, I know where we were going since many years, and I'm not surprised where we are now. So yeah, so and I know that what you are asking me in many emails, you know, and how you share, you know, like what is going on in your countries, guys. Well, I mean, we knew it's gonna happen. We know it is coming, and what I can say, Bulgaria, so far, we never know what's gonna happen. Looks like the last bastion in Europe. Maybe Albania is there still, you know, but it looks like it's the last bastion where you can find like a bit of freedom. And yeah, I mean, freedom is the most important, you know, and peace of mind, no stress. But don't be tricked by this as well, because Bulgarian bureaucracy can be very bad. So the less you have to do with the Bulgarian bureaucracy, the better. And trust me, if you are planning to do something with Bulgarian bureaucracy, I mean, if you, like in Western countries, so like, oh, do I need permission for this? Do I need permission for that? I mean, think over twice everything what I share with you today. If you have more questions, you can always send me an email, but remember that I'm very bad in answering these days. So I'm planning to start with Patreon. Patreon, I don't know how to pronounce it properly in English, but yeah, and if you would like to support me, or you would like to get some extra information about the Bulgaria, or maybe you would like me to help you with something, and then you can contact me privately through the email or my social media, because you have to understand as well that I cannot really share all the information within the regular video. Yeah, you know what I mean. So so I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember about leaving the subscription if you can, because this is the way you help my videos to reach more beautiful people. And give me a like, leave a comments, because that's important to the Google algorithm. Google YouTube algorithm works in this way. And yeah, so I hope all the information I shared today you find, or you will find them one day, very helpful in planning to your relocation to Bulgaria.